Out on a solo blast today. I am right now on a route that may be familiar to a lot of people. It's part of the TAT, but this little section is also on some of our routes, but I'm using it as a transit to get to something I haven't done before. But I'm having a hard time today. Let me tell you what happened. You probably can relate. I had some mental paralysis on what I wanted to do today. I was just getting all wishy-washy in my brain. Last night I was thinking about today. I had a free Sunday. Sean Wells down in Chattanooga with White Lightning Harley Davidson with his dirt days was leading a group out of Chattanooga down into Georgia. Looked like it'd be a lot of fun, but I was feeling a little lazy this morning. I just did not want to get up and to commit getting on the road at 6 a.m. Then there was a group of people heading out of Fox and Lock up there in Franklin, or not in Franklin, but over there in Leaper Sport for a dirt double ride. Thought I might go up there and join them. But again, I didn't want to get up and I didn't want to have any commitments, and I just couldn't decide what to do. So I got up this morning and slept in a little bit, drank some coffee, and I was like, where am I going to ride today? What am I going to do? It's hot. I don't want to do all street and be out baking on the asphalt, but neither did I want to do something too technical. I thought about loading the DR and going over to West Point and doing some single track, but I need some new brakes on it, and I just didn't feel like going out there solo out in the woods. So I had a track from a long time ago I picked up, and you can get this off of, it may have been revised, it's an old version. You can get it off of Sam Carrera's website, the Transamerica Trail website, but it's their Lake Hill Motorsports Fayetteville to Corinth route. And I'm not going to go all the way to Corinth, but I am just going to blast. I have not been on that track past Fayetteville, and I have a loop out of Fayetteville, but it goes a little bit north of this track, so I just want some new roads. I think y'all can relate. New roads is always good. So we're going to see how far I get until I'm ready to turn around, and I figure I might make it over to Lawrenceburg or Waynesboro, and from there it's about a 2-hour ride home, which I may do just blast the highway straight back, or I may on my Garmin go home and adventure, the adventure routing. A lot of people out in the water tubing today and kayaking, so I may do that and take the long way home. We'll see. But it's just one of those hot July days, and I did not want to stay home, and I did not know what I wanted to do. The mental paralysis. So I may show some clips today, I may not, but I just want to talk about something that some of y'all can probably relate to, is just being indecisive, not knowing what you want to do, but wanting to do something. And so, of course, I probably would have had a lot of fun with the Dirt Days crew down in Chattanooga. I would have had a lot of fun riding on the Dirt Devil today. This is just a solo run, and sometimes that's the best time. I know I don't have to wait for anybody. I can go at my pace, which is usually fairly quick, and I don't like to stop, so I'm not going to be making any stops. I'm just going to be riding. So anyways, if I see something interesting, I'll let y'all know, and I'll show you some clips. I'll probably take a few pictures once I get out there, but anywho, see y'all around. I'm on all new stuff today. It's interesting to see how Sam routed himself across this part of the state as opposed to what I have done and others. I've taken probably a ridge or two over to the right or north. Through here. But you know, this is what I was thinking is about what we call adventure riding, and why I love it so much is I don't have to be in the dirt on the nasty, which I do like to get out there, but I like to see, I like to explore. And I always just, my wife and I, before I even rode, we would just you know, I had a Goldwing, a street ride, which, you know, I wouldn't go down stuff like this on a big old Goldwing. It didn't bring the smile to my face that adventure riding and dual sporting does, but we would take my pickup truck, we would go riding, just exploring. We'd go down, just pointing a direction, and what's down this way? Ooh, I better check up a little bit. We got some gravel. You know, what's down here? What can we find? What can we explore? And we've always done that ever since we've been together. And so I really enjoy getting off the beaten path and seeing what you can see. And with adventure riding, sometimes you come up on a road like this, you dang sure don't want to be doing it on a Harley, well, maybe the Pan America, but you know what I'm saying, a street bike. Whether you're on a touring street bike or a cruiser. I mean, I just went through a couple little creek crossings a little while back, and you just don't really want to do it. You can, but it's not the right bike. Plus, the suspension isn't made for it. There's something to be said for these adventure bikes and dual sports. Your long travel suspension just eats up the bumps, and this just opens up so much more to go back. And I'm out here the adventure riding, just finding places I haven't seen before. I love to look at the scenery. You know, I think there's a reason this is the fastest growing segment in motorcycling today, is the adventure and dual sport riding, is the ability to get off the beaten path. I really like, there's a purpose. I know the middleweight in this class of adventure bikes is really becoming popular, and I might even go down to one, but there's still a place for these bigger adventure bikes. I'm on a 1090. And the thing about this is I can do the rougher stuff. My skill is the only thing that prevents me from the really gnarly. But we can do this, but I can also blast across the country. And I've done 1,000 mile, 1,100 mile days, my tops on this. And they're not, I mean, they're doable, right? They're not any more of a torture test than anything else you'd be out on. To an intersection. And that might be a topic I talk about a little bit more later. But I'm just out having fun. I have been riding for about 2 hours straight, 2.5 hours straight, without a stop or a break, because I'm just really enjoying myself. I love going on some of these back road twisties. But scenery, Middle Tennessee is probably one of my prettiest areas that I think in the state. There's so much to see. Two of the routes that we have, my Lynchburg and Fayetteville loops, I argue are the most scenic in the state. We've got 6 loops. I think we have 6 different loops comprising the middle and west part of the state, and the eastern part of the state, and the middle part of the state. And they're all great routes. They're all very different. I call my Lynchburg and Fayetteville loops, which we're not on at the moment, but I call them my super adventure routes. A little more pavement, but broken pavement and tertiary roads, farm roads, single lane roads, and the scenery is second to none. We'll see how this does, this Layhill to Corinth, or at least the section I'm going to be on is. So far I'm enjoying myself. Been enjoying some music in my headphones as well today. I'm out of data service, so my streamer crapped out on me. but I'll have to put on some preloaded tunes here shortly. Anyways, oh, we're about to get back on one of my tracks for a brief second. See, I just gonna pick up roads from, this is what I did, is I picked up the route from there. My route goes that way. Interesting. Yeah. So I'm kind of dabbling on parts of my roads. Does this go straight across? Yep. Yeah, this is, I'm back on my stuff now. Alright folks, we'll see y'all in a little while. I'm gonna, sharp turn. I'm gonna turn my camera off. Lunch in the shade back there, had breakfast and lunch. Had some beef sticks and a can of Vienna sausages, and a little bit of water. First break of the day. Guy on a dirt bike, no headlight, not an enduro bike, just straight up dirt bike, Kawasaki. Came cruising by at a good little clip. He's out riding these little country roads. You don't have to worry about the county mounties out here. He's probably going to a spot he knows very well to ride. He took the other road. But I'm out here, and this section is, it's mainly been pavement, but it hasn't been bad pavement. It's just been a lot of pavement. But I don't mind, especially roads like this. They're just little single lane farm roads, and a lot to look at and a lot to keep you on your toes. But I wanted to get back to the topic I started, and I may or may not do any more recording today, but the topic was mental paralysis, of whether to go ride or not to ride. And when you are going to ride, where the heck do you go? Because sometimes you just cannot decide where or what you're doing. I need to watch what I'm doing on these turns. And I think the main thing is, should you go or should you not go? Well, you should always go. I think always. Whether it's a short ride or a long ride. Whether you're following some tracks, which I'm doing part of it, you know, I'm linking stuff together, but it just gives me an idea. Or just headed straight out with no particular place in mind. But get out there, get off the beaten path. If you've got a headset, put on some good tunes or a good podcast. We certainly got a podcast where you can listen to that sometime. But the main thing is to get out, get riding, have fun, and enjoy yourself. You may not have tomorrow, because it's not guaranteed. All you have is today. So with that, hopefully this won't be my last ride. See y'all around.